So with this session, again, just do the best you can, but it's a chance to both relax and mobilize and just sort of be one with ourselves in this moment. So to do that, first of all, we like to relax ourselves down. So get yourself in a nice comfortable position if you need to adjust or whatever that is. And then when you're ready to, just do some nice, slow, deep breathing going in through the nose, out through the mouth, and continue that breathing there, just going in through the nose, out through the mouth. Nice, slow, relaxed breathing. And when you're ready to, you can start to close down the eyes over whenever you're ready to, or over the next couple of breaths. Keep that breathing going, just in through the nose, out through the mouth. Nice, slow, deep breathing here, relaxing into where you are. Now we're in that bit more relaxed state. Keep the eyes closed still and just remind yourself that often with these sessions, the hardest thing is to turn up. So overcoming that barrier already was a great achievement just by being here. But now we are here. Let's remind ourselves that over the next hour, let's keep our focus on the movements, the breathing, whatever it may be that we're doing over the next hour together, to remain focused and do it to the best of our ability. If you find your mind wandering and focusing on other things, that's totally fine. We could just bring it back in line. But we want to be focused as often as we can through the session, not worrying about what's come before us or what's happening after the session or what's even happening around us during this next hour, but to remain focused on what we're doing. Keep that breathing going as you remind yourself of that. And as you do so, keep the breathing going, keep the eyes closed, but sitting up nice and tall. And as you breathe in each time, just notice that chest lift, how you sit up a little bit taller. And as you breathe out as well, notice how the shoulders relax down and that wave of relaxation washes over you. And just go back and forth, just noticing each in-breath a little bit more, each out-breath a little bit more as you cycle between the two. Be mindful of each and every breath that you do here. And what I mean by being mindful is just focus on it. That's all we need to do. Just notice the breath coming in and notice it going out. That's all that mindfulness is focus really. Focusing on what we're doing and being fully aware of it. Good. Keep the breathing going. So we normally do this little breathing drill that we're going to do here. We can keep the eyes closed, keep the breathing going normal for now, but we normally do this little drill at the end. It's called box breathing, but we're going to bring it into the beginning of today's session. And it's nice and simple. I'll tell you what you're doing. Again, just keep your breathing going normal for now. But when I say we do breathing in for 4 seconds, we'll hold the breath in for 4 seconds, then we'll breathe out for 4 seconds, and then we'll hold it out for 4 seconds. So there's 4 things: breathing in, holding it in, breathing out, holding the breath out, and then repeating through. And each one of those makes up the side of our box. Cool, so when you're ready to, just breathe out to begin with. And then we'll start with breathing in, 2, 3, 4, hold the breath, 2, 3, 4, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, hold it out, 2, 3, 4, breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Hold it in. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath out. 2, 3, 4. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Hold it in. 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 2, 3. And let's just return our breathing to normal here. Nice and relax in and out. And as you do so, let's start to sit up nice and tall if you're not already. And you can slowly start to open up your eyes if you haven't already. And let's start, as we breathing in, we're going to shrug the shoulders up. And as we breathe out, we're just going to relax them down. It's just nice, easy movements. Squeeze the shoulders as you bring them up. And really try and relax them down as you bring them back down. And almost try and think of this as you're not trying to lift the shoulders up and down. You're just trying to squeeze and relax the muscles. Naturally, if you do that, the shoulders do raise. You're trying to squeeze and relax them. So just go with that. And it's almost like we're trying to pump the muscle here, get some blood into that area, into that shoulder joint, or the shoulder joints, I should say. And just to help to get all that breathing, all that oxygen we just got in, and sending it to this area, just to help to give it all the oxygen, the nutrients, everything that muscle needs to move a little bit easier. So breathe in as you shrug up. Breathe out as you relax down. Good work. Okay, we're going to continue that shrugging theme, but instead of up and down, we're going to go forwards and back. So we're going to push our shoulders forwards as we breathe out. And then as you breathe in, we're going to pull them back, squeeze the shoulder blades behind us, and go back and forth between the two. So breathe out, push forwards, breathe in, squeeze it back. Nice, easy movements between the two. Again, trying to squeeze the muscles and as we bring the shoulder blades together. And as we push forwards as well, we're almost trying to squeeze our chest together as we do so. Mobilizing those shoulders in this plane of motion here. Good. Okay, let's just do some nice, easy shoulder rotations round now. Just go around. Nice, slow, gentle rotations. Mobilizing those shoulder joints even more. Good work, everybody. Don't worry if you can't do a big full rotation, even if it's just a small range of motion. That's absolutely fine. Just doing what we can here to get them going around the best that we can. Good. Let's change direction and go the opposite way now. And with this as well, just if it is like clunky and all that kind of stuff, that's usually okay. It's if it's causing you any pain or discomfort, just ease it off, back it off a little bit in terms of your range of motion. But if it's just feels clunky, that's fairly normal to feel that way. Nice work. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we haven't done this one for quite a while, but we're just going to do some small rotations with our arms here, down by our side. So just going around, it's still mobilizing that shoulder joint, but just nice, easy circles down by our side here. They don't have to be very big circles, they're just easy down here. Good work. Let's change direction. Go the opposite way with this. Let's change direction again, but this time we're going to just bring it up a little bit more. I almost want you to get your elbows up each time as we come around. I'm going to come a little bit closer, show you again from closer. So I'll be a little bit blurrier up closer, but almost like the elbows are almost leading this movement here. There you go, that's good. And change direction again. We can just let the elbows lead this. Nice work. Let's open up a little bit more by placing our hands roughly around about our shoulders. They don't have to be locked in position here, but now we can bring the elbows round, just like so. And on here, you've got a few options based on how you can balance. So option number one, we can just do both arms together. You can do it alternating if you want to, or you can do one arm for a couple of them and then switch over to the other side. Have a play around. It doesn't have to be perfect or exactly one way or exactly another. If you want to mix and match, that's also fine. But just getting those elbows going around and getting that shoulder joint a little bit more mobilized here. Let's change direction. So same thing, but in the opposite direction. So again, you can do both arms together or alternating, or one side for a couple and then swap over. However you want to do it here. Again, the hands don't need to be locked in position. They can glide around there. Good. All right, let's open it up a little bit more by doing one full circle now with our arms. So we bring it all the way around in a circle the best we can. Now, with this, I don't expect you to have to be able to do a full circle with this. So if you can't bring it all the way up and around, you can either do a smaller circle, or if it's with a bent arm as well, that's absolutely fine. Or even a smaller circle with a bent arm. Whatever you can do here to just get that round in a nice, easy, flowing motion. That's all that we require. And it is, if it's caused you any pain or discomfort at any point, even a small circle, feel free to back off of it completely, or a little bit, or a lot, or however you feel is right for you. Let's change direction and go the opposite way. Nice. Well, let's change over to the other side and just bring the arm round. And if one side's not got the same range of motion as the other, that's also fine. Again, making those adjustments by smaller circles or with the bent arm, whatever you need to do here. So yeah, I don't mind if it's just a small little circle down here. If that's what you can do, that's what you can do. Let's change direction and go the opposite way. Okay, good. Let's just go back into some shoulder rotations for a little bit. Change direction. Good work. So shoulders should feel fairly loose compared to what they would feel towards the beginning of the session. And feeling quite a little bit warm and a little bit ready to do our next bit, which is to do a little bit of stretching with the muscles that connect to the shoulder joint. First of all, we're going to stretch both our chest and our back. To do that, I'll turn slightly to the side so you can see it from here. We're going to put both hands back, just like so, to feel that stretch across the chest there. And then we're going to reach one hand forwards. Actually, I'll do the other hand first. And then reach it forwards the best you can, almost pushing it forwards in the shoulder joint. And then bringing it back, stretching across the chest. Then we go on to the other side. And back. Now, most of you have probably got a table or a desk or something in front of you with your laptop or phone on, and you can always use that. So I'll demonstrate here. So you can go back with both hands and you can lean forwards and use that table or side or windowsill or whatever you're using to help support you if you struggle with that balance going forwards. Or if you don't have something or you're not close to it, you can always use the other hand, just rest it on the lap. And then go back and forth. And if you don't bring your arms all the way up, even when you could bring the arms back, you could just bring them up as best you can. Good work. Okay, we're going to go into our next stretch here, which is going to be, if we can, reaching up and bending over to one side and then to the other side. Each time we're going to hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds. I'll let you count for that. So if it feels fine doing that, that's absolutely fine. Carry on doing it. If you can't bring the arm up and over, we can bring it across our chest instead and feel it through that way. So can bring it just across the best we can. And again, you can use your table or desk or whatever to support you if need be. But just bring that arm up the best you can. So if it's sort of in front of your face or around your chest height or above your head, feel that stretch. Hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds. And once you've done that, over to the other side. Yeah, then lastly with our stretch is here we're going to do a rotator cuff stretch. And again, if you have any pain or discomfort in this area, feel free to reduce the range of motion or just back off all out of it altogether. But the first option here is to keep the elbows tucked in, and we can bring the hands out to the side and then back in. I'll show you from the side as well. So the elbows stay tucked in, and we come out and then back in. So that's option number one. However, if you're able to, try and do option number two, where we get the elbows up higher and come back like so, and then forwards. I'm just going back and forth between that. One, we can get a little bit extra range of motion in this, in the external rotation, and then in the internal rotation, we can get a little bit of a stretch as well. So it's going back and forth between the two. Again, I'll show you from the side on this one. So it comes almost like we're about to throw a ball, and then bringing it down the other way. Yeah, let's relax out of that now. So let's just do a few little shoulder rotations just to ease out of it. So just go around again. Change direction. Good work. Okay, let's just go back to some breathing exercises again. So we're just going to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. As we breathe in now, bring the hands up. As we breathe out, push them down. Cycle through that. Breathe in, raise up. Breathe out, push down. on this next one. We'll do the same as we come up. Breathe in. As we breathe out, we're going to push both hands forwards and then relax them down. Let me do that from the side so you can see it from there as well. So we breathe in, push forwards, breathe out, and relax down. Breathe in, breathe out. Yeah. Keep that going there. Good. Now as we breathe in, we bring it up. As we breathe out, we push to the side and relax down. And repeat through. Breathe in, bring it up. Breathe out, push out and down. And if you can't fully stretch those arms out, just get to where you can with it, even if it's just a short range of motion. That's absolutely fine. Just reaching the best you can each time, linking it with the breathing. Good work. Okay, so this time we're going to do similar-ish sort of movements and breathing with some movements. But this time what we're going to do is two sort of big circles with the hands. And then we're going to bring it down into the tummy area. So I almost want you to gather, almost like you've got clouds above your head. You gather them up and you bring them down. So breathe in as you bring the arms up. Breathe out as you push it down. Keep that going if you're comfortable with that. If you can't get the full circle, however, just go to where you can, even if it's just a smaller one, even if it's just a small range of motion, or even just one arm if that's all you're able to do. Just doing the best you can to get those arms up, around, and bringing it down into your belly. Good. I'm going to reverse that now. So we're almost going to try and push back up, out, and then around. So almost like you're gathering here, you're pushing it up, and pushing it out, and then bring those arms around. And again, with this, just bring your arms up the best you can. If you can't bring it all the way up overhead, up to where you can, and then around the best we can. A small amount of movement is absolutely fine if that's all you can do. We're just doing the best that we can do here. Great work, everybody. Let's keep this going. Good. Okay, so what we're going to do now is have a small little hydration break. So grab yourself a drink, and then we will move into the next bit that we'll be doing. Good work so far, though. As you can see, especially if you are new to these classes, the best thing to do is to do the best that you can do with these. Don't worry if you can't do the full range of motion that I can do. Um, even I have a very good range of motion. I used to be a swimmer, so I can sort of get my arms both above my head in a streamlined position and all that kind of stuff. So, I have a very good range of motion because of what I've done in the past. So even if you have got good movement, you might not be able to get the full range of motion, and that's absolutely fine. It's all about doing what you can do. The idea of these sessions are to be mindful of movement, and that's your movement. It's not my movement or anybody else's movement. It's your movement. So just doing it the best that you can do and just being mindful throughout it. That way we'll get the benefits of the movement. And when we're being mindful of it as well, we get the mental health benefits of it too, which is the relaxation, the stress reduction, and many other benefits that come with doing this sort of exercise. Good. Okay, we are going to go on to some mobility for our neck and then the rest of our spine. So before we do that, we're just going to refocus by just doing some nice little breathing again. So just go in through the nose, out through the mouth, refocus back in after that little break we've had. And let's start doing our first movement here, which is going to be some extension and flexion. So that's where we look up and look down, and we just go back and forth between the two, nice and gentle, nice and controlled, looking up, looking down, not rushing between the two, but just gliding nice and calmly. Go through a comfortable range of motion. If there's any point along this that it's hurting, if you go through too far a range, just back off from that range and just go in a comfortable range of motion. With these exercises, this one and the ones we're about to do, it's not necessarily about how far you can move it. It's more about just moving it in the first place, and that's where we're going to get most of the benefit. Keeping it mobile, keeping it moving is what's going to help keep it healthy in the long run. Good. The next time we find ourselves looking down, let's just hold this position here and almost let gravity take over a little bit. So the neck drops down, the back of the neck would naturally extend as you do so. Maybe even providing a little bit of a stretch in there. Just holding it there, breathing as you do so. And let's ease out of it. We'll do a couple of looking up and downs. And now the next time you find yourself looking up, let's hold that position. So first of all, looking up, that may be enough of a stretch for you. But if you want to take it a little bit further, first of all, closing the mouth helps you stretch further. And then the next thing we can do is place one hand on our sternum or right in the middle there, just slowly pulling it down as we look up, and you'll feel like a stretch. Almost feels like it's stretching through the skin there, but we're stretching the muscles. So keeping the mouth closed, hand on the top of our chest in the middle there, gently pulling it down, feeling that stretch through the front of our neck. And feel free to move side to side slightly. You may feel one side is feeling tighter than the other, which is perfectly normal. But let's ease out of that now. So just a couple more looking up and downs. And then let's go into our rotation. So we're just looking one side to the other, back and forth between the two. And what we do with these neck mobility exercises here, we're going through the four ranges of motion. So this one we're doing now is rotation. The previous ones were flexion when we looked down and extension when we looked up. And then we've got the lateral flexion as well at the end coming up. And these are the four movements that the vertebrae in our spine are capable of doing. And we like to get them going through these ranges of motion just to help them loosen up, help to keep them mobile, because they are designed to move. So we want to make sure we're giving them that proper attention, because often in our modern lives, looking at screens and that, we don't tend to move our spine as much as it's capable of doing. So it's just an opportunity to do that. Okay, next time you find yourself looking to the left, let's hold that position. I'm going to have a little bit of a stretch here. So holding it may be enough, but if you want to take a little bit further, you can take the left hand. So we're looking to the left hand on the right collarbone area, just above it. And you can pull it diagonally downwards, much like we did in the sternum, but we're looking to the side. And we're sort of getting a stretch sort of between the collarbone and the bottom of the jaw. You may need to play around with it, hand positioning and where you rotate your head to really feel it. But once you do, it's going to help to stretch that neck out slightly. Okay, let's ease out of that again. A couple more looking lefts and rights. And this time we're going to look to the right. And if you want to take it further, we can take a right hand onto the left collarbone area. And again, gently, almost Feels like you're pulling the skin, it's stretching the muscles underneath at the same time. And ease out of it. Let's do a couple of lefts and rights just to ease out of it there. Nice. Well, let's go into our lateral flexion now. Let's bring one ear to one shoulder, to the other shoulder, back and forth, nice and gentle between the two. Good. Okay. On this one, we're going to take it a little bit further with the stretch to bring the left ear to the left shoulder, and let's hold it there. If we want to take it a little bit further, though, you can take our right arm and drop it down towards the ground. Now that's just going to help create a little bit more of a gap between the right ear and the right shoulder as the left ear comes to the left shoulder. Good work. Let's ease out of that, doing a couple of lefts and rights again. And the next time you find your right ear on your right shoulder, let's hold it there again, dropping the left arm down and feeling that stretch there again. You may find that one side feels like it needs more of a stretch than the other side. That's perfectly normal. Generally tend to be quite more dominant in one arm than the other, which generally means more dominant in one shoulder than the other. And it means that one side always feels like it needs that little bit of an extra stretch in there. Good, let's ease out of it there. Okay, let's just do a little bit of a shoulder wiggle out of that, just to ease out of it. And we're going to go through the rest of our spine now. So much like the flexion extension that we did with the neck, looking up and down, we're going to now curl over our entire upper body. So curling over almost like we're a prawn or a shrimp. And then we arch back, almost like we're a high jumper, going over a pole. And we're going to go back and forth between the two. So curling forwards, arching back. Curling forwards, arching back. And this doesn't need to be a huge range of motion. And to be honest, when I first start doing the first couple here, I don't get a very good range of motion, but it soon, over the next few, loosens up, starts to allow me to go a little bit further. But the range of motion isn't what's important here. It's just going through that motion. That's what's mobilizing it. Just moving it alone, even if it's a tiny range, is 90% of what you'll get in terms of benefit. That extra range of motion is just going to be a small amount better in comparison. So don't worry about the range. Don't worry about how far you can extend or flex here. Just do small, easy movements, and that'll go a long way. Good work. Let's go into our rotation now. So rotate round to one side, rotate round to the other. Notice here as well, I'm using my arms to assist. So one hand on my legs, the other one on my wheel, or you can use your other leg. I'm just rotating around. Use the back of the chair as well. You need to just to help get yourself around, whatever you need to hold on to. If you do need to hold on, and we go between the two. I will say for those who are not in a chair that has side supports, try and make sure that your legs stay pointing forwards. Because if we rotate to the side, let's show it here. If we rotate to the sides and our legs come with us, they're not actually rotating. So make sure the legs stay pointing forwards as you rotate to one side and to the other. Good work. Let's go into our lateral flexion now. So bend down to one side, bend down to the other. And with this as well, what we want to make sure is that we've almost like we have a pane of glass in front of us and behind us, and we're sort of shimmying between the two. That means we don't want to lean forwards as we're doing this. We want to stay upright and just bend side to side. Good work. Let's come around in a whirlpool now. Good work. Change direction. And then ease out of that. So I'm just going to check the time. Okay, perfect. Got a little bit of time here to finish off with some nice meditation work. So let's have a drink before we do so. And we're going to go through our beach visualization today. So with this, don't rush, by the way. Carry on with your drinking. I'm just going to explain what we're doing. Essentially, what we're going to do here is when we're ready to all together, we will close our eyes down and we will start to visualize a beach scene. And I'm going to guide you through how to visualize that scene as such. And we're going to essentially use all of our senses or in an imaginary way. So we'll start to open up the scene in our mind with visuals. Then we're going to do it with our other senses as well, like our smell, our sound, touch, etc., just to help us to build a more complete scene in our mind. And the reason for doing this is that when we start to use all those different senses to really focus on something, and like that's really, really being mindful is when we use all of our senses or as many as we can to focus on something, it really helps to relax the nervous system. And it's a really great way of just calming us down. It's essentially our body's way of saying, you know what, everything's okay because we're so focused on this relaxating scene and using all of our senses to really be present. We don't have to send all the stress signals around our body. So it's a really great way just to reduce that down in terms of our stress levels, nervous systems come down, blood pressure, everything just goes into a much more relaxed state. So that's kind of the idea of why we do this. And let's do it. Okay, so get yourself nice and comfortable. Doesn't matter, you don't have to have perfect posture here. Just get yourself in a nice comfortable position, however you want to be. And then we can just start to do some breathing. And over the next couple of breaths, just start to close the eyes down. So just breathing to begin with, bringing that focus inwards to the breath. And just focus first of all in breathing in, breathing out. Good. Now we're going to start to open up that mind's eye of ours. So keeping your eyes closed, but the mind eye starts to open as we start to visualize a beach scene. Now, when it comes to a beach scene, it may be one that you're already familiar with. It may be one that you've seen in a movie or a documentary or something, or it may be an amalgamation of places that you've been to, or one that you've completely made up. None of it matters in terms of any of those things. Not one is more right than the other. Just start to picture the beach that you want to picture. So just to open it up and just imagining sort of what it looks like there. You've got the sand or even pebbles or whatever type of beach you want to have. And start to just look at it in terms of what does the sand look like? What does the sea look like? Is there sand dunes? Is there buildings? What's the sky look like? And as we start to develop those shapes, start to bring a more of an understanding of what those colors are. What's the color of the sand? What's the color of the sea? Notice that light as well coming down, maybe sparkling in the sands into the water, whatever it is. Just start to notice all those small intricate details of your scene. Notice any movement as well. Maybe there's clouds drifting by. Maybe there's a small crashing of the waves. Maybe there's people there as well. Whatever it may be, just start to visualize it more and more within your mind. Opening up that scene. Now let's start to introduce our next sense, which is going to be a sense of sound. So just start to imagine what it would sound like there. Maybe there's just a small little breeze whistling through. Maybe there's just a small, gentle lapping of the waves up onto the beach, or maybe they're even heavier waves and you can hear them crashing in the distance. Maybe there's birds flying above, maybe there's people chattering nearby. Whatever it is, just start to build it up, build that sound up. Remember, there's no right or wrong here. It's just about building the scene to your best of your abilities and getting it as vivid as you possibly can within your mind. And don't neglect the vision just because the sounds come in as well. Sometimes it can be hard to focus on both at the same time, but just do your best. You can always switch back and forth and just have a really visual scene within your mind. Now try and imagine the temperature as well while you're there. If you got a warm, sunny day or a cloudy, overcast one, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you notice how it feels. So if the sun is out, notice how that feels as well on you, making it feel like it's warming up the skin. Now we want to imagine some touch as well. So whether you want to pick up some sand, like some of that imaginary sand, or run it through your fingers and just imagine what it would feel like. Or maybe you want to dip some toes in the sea and just feel that. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you focus on it the best you can. So really feel that sensation whilst also remembering the temperature, whilst also having the visuals and the sound as well. That's good. Now, if you want to as well, we can start to almost visualize ourselves moving through the scene a little bit more. So whether you want to imagine yourself just floating through or walking or using a wheelchair, it doesn't really matter again, just doing your best just to move through that scene. Maybe it changes as we do so. You can see the clouds drifting by. You can see the waves lapping up. You're just moving through the scene, noticing any changes that occur. Good. Let's start to close that down now. So bring it into the middle and start to focus again on the breathing, coming in through the nose, out through the mouth. And in this moment, I just want you to thank yourself for coming today, for remaining focused, doing some good breathing and some moving and mobilizing for today's session. So if you want to give yourself a clap or a pat on the back or however you want to congratulate yourself, do so here. And when you're ready to, you can start to open up your eyes, come back to the room as we finish today's session there. Excellent work, everybody. Some really good movement, really good breathing.